Welcome to Bookish and Beyond, where nonfiction comes to life. In each episode, we break down the world's most impactful books, from self-help to biographies. We dive into key takeaways, author insights, and modern parallels. Want more? Subscribers get exclusive access to our book summary, study guide, and timeline PDF, everything you need to go deeper. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Let's explore the books that change the way we think. This is Bookish and Beyond.
Welcome to another deep dive.
Oh, yeah?
This time...
I'm excited for this one.
I know, me too. We are going all the way back to 7th century Arabia to explore the early days of Islam.
All right.
And we're focusing on the lives of the first 4 caliphs.
Huge figures.
They really are.
Yeah.
Abu Bakr,
Yeah.
Umar, Uthman, and Ali.
A fascinating period.
Yeah.
And you know what's really cool about this one is we're going beyond, just like the timeline of events.
Right.
And we're really trying to understand these figures as people.
I agree.
And we're using this 18-book series to do it.
Oh, wow.
The Golden Series of the Prophet's Companions.
Okay.
And it's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm already hooked by the stories and the little details.
I know.
Yeah.
I completely agree, and it really does make it feel so much more vivid than just reading a dry history textbook.
Way more engaging.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
great.
You really get a glimpse into their hearts and minds.
I agree. That's exactly what we're going for with this deep dive, right? I want to learn not just the what of this era, but the why.
Exactly.
What drove these men?
Yeah, what were their challenges?
What were their struggles?
Yeah.
And then the big question, what can their experiences teach us?
Totally.
About faith.
About faith.
About faith.
And how ideas can reshape the world.
Mm-hmm. I think before we jump into their individual stories, though, we need to kind of set the stage.
Okay.
Paint a picture of pre-Islamic Arabia.
For sure.
Because it was a completely different world.
Oh, yeah. Imagine a landscape of harsh deserts, fiercely independent tribes, constant conflict.
Yeah.
There was no central authority.
Right.
Tribal warfare was the norm.
Yeah, and it wasn't just a physically challenging environment.
No, it was a society where basic human rights were often just disregarded.
Yeah, I mean, some of the things that they talk about in these sources are really shocking.
Oh, absolutely.
They're things that you just think wow, we've come a long way.
It makes you appreciate how far we've come as a society.
I mean, one of the most jarring examples, I think, is this practice of burying infant daughters alive.
It's hard to even fathom that happening today. Yeah.
And they did this because they were seen as a burden.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine?
It just highlights the kind of moral and social vacuum that existed in pre-Islamic Arabia.
Okay, so we have this moral and social vacuum. Yeah. We've got slavery. Rampant.
Yeah.
Justice is rare.
Very rare.
And, it really seems like there was this need for some kind of guiding force.
Yeah.
Some system of ethics.
Absolutely.
That valued human life.
Yeah.
And dignity.
For sure. And it really makes you think about, the rapid spread of Islam throughout the region.
Do you think that moral vacuum?
I think it definitely played a role.
Yeah.
When a society is yearning for change.
Right.
A new message that addresses those deeply felt needs can be incredibly powerful.
Okay, so?
But to really understand that impact, we need to kind of look at the religious landscape before Islam arrived.
All right, so what was the dominant faith?
It was a mix, really.
Okay.
While some Arabs had adopted Judaism or Christianity, most practiced polytheism.
Okay.
Worshipping a variety of idols.
So the Kaaba in Mecca.
Yeah, so imagine the Kaaba, which was originally built for the worship of one god, surrounded by hundreds of idols.
Wow.
It's like there was this spiritual searching going on, but without a clear direction.
So it sounds like the stage was set for a new message of unity and a return to worshiping one God.
Rejecting those idols.
Yes, rejecting the idols. Yep. And that is when Prophet Muhammad enters the scene.
Exactly. But before we dive into his life and his profound impact, let's talk about a figure who was absolutely instrumental in the early days of Islam. Abu Bakr.
He was the Prophet's closest friend
Yes.
and the first man to convert to Islam.
Yep, and there's something so powerful about that unwavering faith.
Yes.
That immediate acceptance of the Prophet's message.
I think it speaks volumes about his character.
For sure. Even before Islam, he was known for his honesty and his trustworthiness. The sources describe him as someone who rejected the vices of his time. Someone who was already searching for something more.
So when the Prophet receives his first revelation, Abu Bakr doesn't hesitate.
Nope.
He believes.
Right away.
And that belief guides him through some incredibly challenging times.
Because remember, this new faith was seen as a threat by many. The early Muslims faced persecution, rejection, and even threats to their lives.
But Abu Bakr remains steadfast.
He does.
And his loyalty to the Prophet,
unwavering
to Islam, never wavers.
His commitment was really put to the test when the Prophet and his followers were forced to flee Mecca.
That migration to Medina must have been terrifying.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they were literally running for their lives, leaving behind everything they knew.
I mean, what do you think was going through their minds?
I imagine fear. Certainly. Uncertainty about the future, but also, I think, a deep sense of trust in God and in the Prophet's leadership.
The sources describe them hiding in a cave.
For 3 days.
Pursued by the Meccans.
Who wanted to stop the spread of Islam.
I mean, that image of them huddled in that cave.
It's powerful.
It is. It's so powerful.
It really highlights the risks they were willing to take for their beliefs.
They could have renounced their faith.
Easily.
They could have gone back to their old lives. But they chose to stand firm.
They did.
And their faith was rewarded.
It was. They escaped. They eventually reached Medina, and they were welcomed with open arms by the Ansar.
The people of Medina who had embraced Islam.
Right.
Okay, so this migration.
It's known as the Hijra.
The Hijra.
Marks a pivotal moment in Islamic history.
It's the beginning of the Muslim community.
As we know it.
Built on faith.
Resilience.
And a shared vision for a better world. It's amazing how a small group of people, driven by your convictions, can lay the foundation for a global faith that would impact millions of lives.
But their journey wasn't without its challenges. And one of the most formidable figures they had to contend with was Umar.
Where this is a story of transformation.
Oh, it's hard to believe.
That's hard to believe.
This is a man who starts out as a fierce opponent of Islam. Plotting to kill the Prophet. And then, well, let's just say his journey is nothing short of remarkable.
I've heard about his conversion, but I really want to hear the details.
Oh, it's fascinating.
How does someone go from wanting to silence the Prophet to becoming one of his most trusted companions and eventually the second caliph of Islam?
It's a story that really gets to the heart of what faith is all about. It's about that internal struggle, that moment when your worldview is challenged and you have to choose between clinging to the familiar or embracing something new.
Something that resonates.
Something that resonates with your soul. Even if it goes against everything you thought you knew.
Okay, so you've totally got my attention. We need to dive deeper into Umar's story.
We do.
But I think that is a great place to pick up.
Okay,
next
sounds
game.
Good.
So until then, keep exploring.
Keep questioning.
And keep diving deep.
I like it.
I see you next time.
See ya.
Welcome back. We left off with Umar.
Yeah.
And his opposition to Islam.
Yeah, it was strong.
It really was.
I mean, remember he was deeply rooted in that pre-Islamic Arabian society.
Yeah, the woman we talked about.
Yeah. He was a staunch upholder of those traditions.
The tribal traditions.
Yeah, and he saw Islam as a threat to that whole way of life.
To the social order.
Yeah. I mean, imagine his own sister and brother-in-law converting.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
It must have felt like
a total betrayal.
A huge betrayal,
Yeah.
Totally against everything he stood for.
It must have been so hard for him to grapple with that.
To wrap his head around.
Yeah, like this fundamental shift.
And it shows you how strong those societal norms are.
Yeah.
You know, how difficult it is to break free from those expectations.
Yeah. So what happened? What finally changed his mind?
Well, the sources describe this powerful scene.
Okay.
Enraged by his siblings' conversion, Umar stormed into their house.
Oh my gosh. gosh.
While they were reciting verses from the Quran.
No way.
They tried to hide the scroll.
Okay.
But in his fury, he struck his sister.
Oh my gosh.
Causing her to bleed.
Wow.
That's intense.
That's a really powerful image.
Yeah. And even in the face of that anger, his sister Fatima, she remained steadfast.
Wow.
In her faith.
I think it speaks to the impact of the Quran on those who encountered it.
It really does.
So even as she was bleeding, she boldly tells Umar.
Yeah, she says,
"We have embraced Islam, and we will not abandon our faith, even if you kill us."
Wow, talk about courage.
I know.
Standing up to him like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's incredible.
It's a testament to the power of conviction.
Yes.
I mean, they truly believed.
Yeah.
They had found the truth.
They were unshakable.
Yeah.
So did that change him at all?
It was a turning point for sure.
Okay.
Umar was overcome with remorse, seeing his sister's bleeding face.
That's got to get to you.
Yeah. And he asked to see what they had been reading.
Oh, wow.
And he insisted on washing himself before touching the sacred scroll.
So that's a sign.
Already a sign of respect.
Yeah.
Starting to bloom within him.
So this is it.
Yeah, this is the moment.
He encounters the Quran for the first time.
Yeah.
What do you think was going through his mind?
Well, the sources describe him being deeply moved by the beauty and the power of the verses.
Wow.
It was like a veil had been lifted from his eyes.
Yeah.
And he finally saw the truth.
So his conversion was immediate.
Immediate.
Wow.
And profound.
It's amazing how a single encounter
it really is
with the Quran can have such an effect.
A transformative effect.
Yeah. So what was the reaction?
Oh, you can imagine.
Yeah.
Astonishment. Yeah.
Right. The prophet, the other companions.
I mean, this man, who was once their fiercest persecutor, was now standing before them.
Declaring his belief.
Yeah, in one God.
And the message of the prophet.
Yeah, it was a moment of immense joy.
Yeah.
And relief.
Yeah, like a sign that anyone could be reached.
Yeah.
Even the most hardened hearts.
Exactly. The power of Islam.
And his conversion wasn't just a personal transformation.
No, it had a ripple effect.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole Muslim community.
It must have given courage to those who were still kind of worshiping in secret.
Absolutely emboldened them.
Yeah.
And inspired others to consider this new faith.
So he went from Umar the fierce warrior to Umar the defender of Islam.
Yeah, that's a remarkable story.
It really is.
Testament to the power of faith.
Yeah.
How our lives can change course.
Okay, so we've got Abu Bakr.
Yeah.
The steadfast and loyal companion. We have Umar.
The fierce opponent turned ardent supporter.
It seems like each of these early figures brought their own unique strength to this new Muslim community.
They enriched the community.
Yeah.
Their diverse backgrounds.
Their personalities.
Yeah, and it really contributed to its growth and resilience.
But before we move on to Uthman and Ali, let's talk more about Umar's time as caliph.
His leadership.
Yeah.
It marked a period of incredible expansion.
For the Muslim empire.
Yes, but it was also a time of establishing just governance.
Setting the stage for a thriving civilization.
Exactly.
So his reign was after Abu Bakr's, right?
That's right.
What were some of the key challenges?
Oh, there were so many.
Yeah, I mean, you're leading a rapidly expanding empire.
Yeah.
It's got to be so demanding.
Trying to balance those external pressures with the internal needs of the community.
What were some of his most notable accomplishments?
Well, first and foremost, he oversaw the conquest of vast territories.
Wow, expanding the Muslim empire.
Encompassing Persia, Syria, and Egypt.
Huge.
Major military victories.
I mean, it's mind-boggling how quickly Islam spread.
It is remarkable.
But it wasn't just military dominance, though.
No.
Right.
It was about establishing a system of governance.
That reflected the values of Islam.
Exactly.
So what did that look like in practice?
Well, Umar was deeply committed to justice and fairness.
Right.
He established this sophisticated system of tax collection.
To make sure that the wealth was distributed equitably.
Yes. And he also created a public treasury.
The Beit al-Mal.
Yeah, the Beit al-Mal.
To manage state finances.
Yeah, and to fund public works projects.
So he was laying the groundwork for a sustainable and just society.
Yeah.
Were there any specific examples?
Oh, there are countless stories about his fairness and his accessibility to the people he ruled. He would often roam the streets of Medina.
Really?
At night, disguised.
Wow.
In simple clothing.
To check on the welfare of his citizens?
To make sure that justice was being served.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and there's this famous anecdote.
I'm ready.
About Him encountering this poor woman.
Okay.
Who was pretending to cook for her children.
Oh, gosh.
Just to kind of soothe their hunger.
Ah.
It's heartbreaking.
Did he, offer her assistance?
He did more than that.
Okay.
Touched by her plight.
Yeah.
Umar personally carried a sack of flour and other provisions to her home.
Wow, that's leadership by example. He wasn't just issuing decrees.
Yeah, he was actively engaged in the lives of his people.
That's awesome.
He believed that leadership was a trust, a responsibility to serve and protect the community.
And he held himself accountable.
Oh, yeah, to the highest standards.
Didn't he say something like,
he famously said,
"If a mule stumbles in a rock, I fear I will be asked by Allah on the day of judgment. Why did you not pave the road for it?"
I love that quote.
Yeah.
So powerful.
Yeah.
Talking about a mule.
I know.
It shows how much he can.
He wasn't just focused on building an empire.
No, he was focused on creating a just and flourishing society.
Where everyone was treated with dignity and respect.
Exactly.
And he really focused on knowledge and education, too.
Yeah, he established schools and libraries.
Throughout the empire.
Yeah, he recognized that an educated populace was essential.
Yeah.
For progress.
And development.
Yeah, he encouraged the translation of scholarly works.
Wow.
From other languages.
To make knowledge accessible.
Yeah.
It sounds like he was laying the foundation for a golden age.
He was.
Of Islamic scholarship.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much was achieved during his reign. Military expansion.
Administrative reforms.
A vibrant intellectual culture.
Remarkable.
And his humility.
Yeah, it wasn't just a personal trait.
It permeated his leadership.
Yeah.
He was accessible to his people.
Always willing to listen.
Address their needs.
A true leader serves the people.
Not the other way around.
Yeah.
His legacy.
One of justice, expansion, and piety.
A model of leadership that continues to inspire. But his assassination...
Yeah.
That was a tragic turning point.
It was.
It paved the way for Uthman.
Right. The third caliph.
Known for his generosity and his commitment to preserving the Quran.
Yeah, it reminds us
that
even the most successful leaders,
they're
not immune
to
the forces of ambition.
And discontent.
Yeah, it can disrupt
even the most stable societies.
It's a sobering reminder.
That leadership is precarious.
It is a constant navigation.
Yeah. Of all those pressures.
Internal and external.
It really makes you wonder what would have happened.
Yeah. How history might have unfolded.
If he had lived longer.
Yeah.
But his legacy lives on.
It does.
And his impact on the Muslim community is undeniable.
Yeah.
So Uthman, what led the community to choose him?
Well, Uthman was known for his exceptional generosity.
Okay. Even before converting to Islam.
Even before he was a successful merchant.
Mm-hmm.
And he used his wealth
to
support the community. And to alleviate hardship.
Okay.
And there's this amazing story. About him buying a well during a time of drought.
Wow.
And making that water freely available to everyone in Medina.
Wow.
Imagine that.
That is amazing.
In a society where access to water was so vital.
Yeah. That's
huge.
It's really powerful. That act of kindness, it says so much about his character.
Yeah.
His commitment to the well-being of the community.
Embodying the spirit of generosity.
Yeah.
So central to Islamic teachings.
And that generosity.
Yeah, it wasn't just personal.
Yeah.
It extended to his leadership as well.
Okay.
He continued to use his wealth to support the Muslim community.
Funding.
Mosques, schools, public works projects.
Okay, so we have Abu Bakr.
Yeah. The steadfast companion.
We have Umar.
The fierce warrior turned just ruler.
We have Uthman.
Embodiment of generosity.
Each caliph.
Yeah.
Bringing his own unique qualities to leadership.
Shaping the early Muslim community.
But there's one more.
Yeah.
Key figure.
Ali.
A man whose life was intertwined with the prophets from childhood.
Ali's story is one of courage, wisdom, and deep devotion.
To the prophet.
Yeah. He was raised by the prophet Muhammad.
Wow.
Converted to Islam at a very young age.
Okay.
And later married the prophet's daughter, Fatima.
Wow. So he was really connected.
Yeah, his life was intricately connected.
From the very beginning.
From the very beginning.
It sounds like he was destined for a life of significance.
Yeah.
What were some of those defining moments in his journey that really shaped him into the leader he became?
We'll have to save that story.
Yeah.
The next time.
I'm already hooked.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So until then, keep exploring.
Keep questioning.
And keep diving deep.
I like it.
All right, see you next time. Ali's story is already so captivating. It's incredible to think about how closely his life was intertwined with the prophets, from childhood to his marriage to Fatima. What stands out to you as some of the defining moments that really shaped him?
Well, one thing that immediately comes to mind is his renowned bravery in battle. He earned the title the Lion of Allah for a reason. He was known for his fearless fighting spirit and his unwavering loyalty to the Prophet.
The sources mention some pretty intense battles that he participated in, right? What were some of his most notable feats of courage?
Imagine the Battle of Badr, one of the most crucial battles in early Islamic history. Ali was right there on the front lines, displaying incredible courage and skill against a much larger Meccan force. His strength and determination played a key role in the Muslim victory.
It's amazing to think about the sheer willpower and faith it must have taken to face those kinds of odds. Were there any other battles where his courage was really put to the test?
Oh, absolutely. The Battle of Uhud was another pivotal moment.
Yeah.
The Muslims faced a devastating setback, and at one point the Prophet himself was in danger. Ali defended the Prophet with incredible ferocity, holding off the enemy and allowing the Muslims to regroup. It was a testament to his loyalty and his willingness to sacrifice everything for the sake of Islam.
And then there's the Battle of the Trench, right? I remember reading about how the Muslims dug a massive trench around Medina to defend the city from a much larger Meccan army.
Exactly. It was a brilliant defensive strategy, but there was still a critical moment when a group of Meccan warriors managed to cross the trench. Ali stepped up to the challenge single-handedly, confronting some of their fiercest champions and driving them back. It was a display of courage and skill that became legendary.
It's clear that his bravery and military prowess played a crucial role in the early successes of the Muslim community. But as we've seen with the other caliphs, there was so much more to them than just their military accomplishments. What about Ali's character beyond the battlefield?
Beyond his courage, Ali was known for his wisdom, his eloquence, and his deep knowledge of the Quran. He was often called upon to settle disputes, using his understanding of Islamic law to ensure justice and fairness.
It sounds like he was a man of both action and intellect, a rare combination. The sources mention his role as a judge, right? Were there any particular cases or stories that highlight his wisdom and fairness?
One story that really stands out is his judgment in a case involving a lost piece of armor. A Jew approached Ali claiming that he had found the armor and that it belonged to him. Ali, knowing that the armor actually belonged to a Muslim, questioned the man closely.
It sounds like a classic case of finders keepers, losers weepers, but with a twist. How did Ali handle the situation?
With remarkable insight. He asked the Jew to describe the armor in detail. The man, unable to provide specific details, betrayed his lie. Ali then called upon the Muslim who had lost the armor and asked him to describe it. The Muslim, of course, was able to provide all the details proving his ownership.
It's a brilliant example of using wisdom and careful observation to discern the truth. It reminds us that true justice requires more than just blindly following the letter of the law. It's about seeking fairness and upholding the truth even in seemingly minor disputes.
Absolutely. And that commitment to justice and compassion extended to every aspect of his life. There's another story about him dividing a piece of bread equally among himself, a beggar, an orphan, and a prisoner, demonstrating his belief in the inherent dignity of all people, regardless of their circumstances.
It's a powerful reminder that true leadership is about service and compassion, about putting the needs of others before your own. His story is truly inspiring. He was a warrior, a scholar, a judge, and a man of deep faith and compassion. It's no wonder that he was so revered by the Muslim community.
And yet, despite his many virtues, Ali's life was marked by tragedy. He faced political turmoil, internal conflicts within the Muslim community, and ultimately he was assassinated. His death marked the end of an era, the closing of a chapter on the lives of these four extraordinary men who shaped the course of early Islam.
It's a sobering reminder that even the most righteous and well-intentioned leaders are not immune to the complexities of human nature and the often unpredictable course of history. But their legacies live on, don't they? Their stories continue to inspire and challenge us to this day.
Absolutely. Their lives offer timeless lessons in leadership, faith, and the enduring power of ideas to shape the world. They remind us that even in the face of adversity, we can choose compassion over hatred, justice over oppression, and unity over division. Their stories are a testament to the transformative power of faith and the profound impact that individuals can have on the course of history.
It's been an incredible journey exploring the lives of these four men. Abu Bakr, the steadfast companion, Umar, the fierce warrior, turned just ruler Uthman, the embodiment of generosity, and Ali, the courageous and wise defender of Islam. Their stories are full of twists and turns, moments of triumph and tragedy, and they offer profound insights into the human condition.
And what's truly remarkable is that their stories are not just consigned to the history books. They offer timeless lessons that are relevant to our own lives, our own challenges, our own search for meaning and purpose.
That's what's so amazing about these deep dives. We're not just learning about the past, we're uncovering insights that can guide us in the present and inspire us to create a better future. So as we wrap up our exploration of the lives of the first four caliphs, here's a final thought. We've seen how these individuals navigated a world of immense change and uncertainty. Their stories remind us that leadership is not about power or titles. It's about service, compassion, and a commitment to justice. It's about standing up for what's right, even when it's difficult, and leaving the world a better place than we found it. What will your legacy be?
Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.